Is NovaTech about to collapse? Now this is another fresh video giving more evidence and more alarm signs that NovaTech FX is a scam, a Ponzi scheme, and it's coming very close to collapsing now. I've had a few people contact me anonymously, or rather I know who they are, but they want to remain anonymous for obvious reason, and they have confirmed that they have received their money from NovaTech FX on the blockchain, and in terms of US dollar in Tether, it comes from this address, OX069ACF, etc. So there's a link to this address. You can see this on the Etherscan yourself in the description. I also say at this point, I have decided from this point onwards that I'm going to produce lots more scam videos, but to be able to fund that, I do need to obviously put a lot more time and effort into that, and so therefore every video I do for a scam exposure now will also be effectively sponsored by the investment club that I'm with, have been for almost 8 years now, and I'm currently up around $170,000 profit on that. So if you're interested in the details of that, that is also in the description. That helps me fund these videos to help expose the scammers, and that's primarily the main purpose of these videos, is to expose the scams so you don't lose your money. I'm not doing this to cause any pain or hurt to anyone. I'm simply exposing scams and giving evidence and proof for those scams. So again, Etherscan here shows us on the blockchain this address, which is coming, money is coming from NovaTech, being paid out from NovaTech. Do also confirm if you've had a payment from NovaTech recently, do please provide the wallet address so we can check and get more details on that. At the moment, this is just the USD Tether funds that are coming out. It'd be nice to see the Bitcoin and also the Litecoin that's being paid out from NovaTech, and to see how much funds they've got left in those accounts. But this one here, let's have a look. So this is also the address that people pay money into, which again is also giving more evidence that this is a Ponzi scheme. So 1 hour 8 minutes ago, this is the transmission hash came from this wallet address to the NovaTech address here, $293 worth. 1 hour 36 minutes ago, $8,000. 2 hours 40 minutes ago, $321. And there have been a total of transmission, let's go and have a look, something like 97,000 transmissions on this address since March 2020, which again ties in very well with the time frames that NovaTech have been around. So whilst we cannot 100% confirm this is a NovaTech address, certainly the money is coming from this address and it's being paid by NovaTech, so therefore NovaTech must have control on this address. So all intents and purposes, this is NovaTech's money coming out from their USD Tether wallet, paying out to members. The last payout, if we just go back through, if we view all, and let's go and have a look to see when the last payout was. It was over a day ago. If we just go on to the next page, and this is why you see lots of people in NovaTech FX saying, oh, we've been paid. And here we go, 1 day 7 hours ago, a whole bunch of payout transactions, $158, $155, $572, $59, $62, and so on. Lots of payouts there all in one go, and again that's showing that those to try and encourage people to keep funds coming in to the Ponzi scheme. But let's go back up to the top again, and I'm going to show you a chart in just a second which should give you some very clear alarm bells and proof that they are running out of money. So there's a total of 82,497 transactions in total. That's money coming in and money going out from NovaTech FX since, like I said, I think it was the 20th of March 2020. May not be quite specific on the 20th of March, but I'm pretty convinced it was March. I won't bother digging into that because it's fairly material. But let's have a look at this page here, where we're looking at the filtered. So this is the smart contract for this address, the OX069ACF. Still, it's the same wallet address. But if we come down to the analytics and we look at the token balance, in other words, how much money is in this address, OX069ACF. So this is an address owned and controlled by NovaTech FX, and here we can see that the amount of money in this address was rising very nicely from May, and it rose to a peak of around about 22 million US dollars, and then it started collapsing. Let's zoom in on this a bit. Let's just look at the last 6 months. So it peaked here Friday the 18th of November at $22.3 million. Now, from then, in about 7 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, the balance has gone down to 1.9 million. It reached a low of 1.2. They've managed to get some further funds coming in from people joining the Ponzi scheme. And they're paying out some people to try and keep that encouragement going, that they're paying out, keep bringing money in, keep referring other people. Just on a quick aside there, for those people who say, but I haven't referred anyone, how can this be a Ponzi scheme? It doesn't matter whether you've referred anyone. Overall, people have been referring into the NovaTech Ponzi scheme. So whether you've done that or not is immaterial. They have been receiving funds from new investors. And here we can see categorically that those funds have started to decline rapidly, that they've got, that NovaTech have available to pay out since the 18th of November. Now, what's the significance of the 18th of November? That's a Friday, the 18th of November. So Saturday was 19th. That was a withdrawal time. So it would have dipped down as people start to withdraw, which is typically on a Friday. So that would be the 19th, the 20th was the Sunday, 21st was the Monday, and on the 22nd, so here, so that was people withdrawing, but on the 22nd of November, which is Tuesday 22nd of November, that's where we see between there and today's date, over $20 million has been withdrawn. Now, what's the significance of the 22nd of November? Well, that ties in with the desist and refrain order from the state of California, and this what's the phrase for it again? Desist and refrain order clearly identified. If you look at section 22, in connection with the offer for sale of the securities, NovaTech Cynthia Petian, who's a co-founder, and Eddie Petian, her husband, and Ricardo Roy, not mentioned specifically in this desist and refrain order, but Ricardo Roy is Cynthia's brother. Those three people are together running NovaTech FX, this Ponzi scheme. And this desist and refrain order, this is not a warning, this is an order to say stop doing what you're doing in California. And the previous business they were in, AWS mining, where they did incredibly well, were massive net winners from AWS mining just before they set up and started running NovaTech FX. That also had a cease and desist order. That one was from Texas, and within 90 days that had basically collapsed. So we're now 30 days in, so they might be able to survive 60 days, but if we go back to the funds, we can see they've pretty much run out. If they've got $1.9 million in there, and let's say there's 200,000 members, let's round that to $2 million with 200,000 members, that's $10 each. That's all they've got left for all of their members, $10. So if you've got more than $10 that you're still net loss within NovaTech FX, imagine if you only get $10 back if you make your withdrawal before they collapse, before they pull the plug on it. Now, like I said, we don't know what's in their Bitcoin wallet, we don't know what's in their Litecoin wallet, but if they're reflecting what's in their USD Tether wallet, then there's basically nothing left. And it's all due to this desist and refrain order. And the top leaders within NovaTech will be well aware of that. They will be saying to their downline, they'll be lying through their teeth, saying, no, everything's fine, we're still getting paid, everyone's still getting paid, but look at the account. The account has collapsed. Everyone might still be getting paid for now, but basically within the next week or two, NovaTech are clearly going to struggle. So what we've seen with NovaTech, first of all, we're seeing a reduction in payout percentages. And all the members of NovaTech are saying, oh, that's because it was the Christmas period, they're not trading fully. Hang on, NovaTech FX are trading AI bots. That's what they've always been saying. It's not human trading. And so they didn't need to take a break over Christmas. And the crypto markets are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there is no such thing as a holiday in the crypto markets. So that doesn't make any sense. So this is really looking serious. Let's just look at the 1 year so you can see how steep this decline is. The withdrawal of funds from this $22.3 million bucket. It's got a massive leak in it. People are withdrawing. And like I said, that's the leaders who have seen this desist and refrain order and thought, right, that's it, that's the end of this Ponzi scheme, get your money out quick as possible. The leaders will have been withdrawing fortunes. They'll be the net winners. They'll still be out there saying, look how much money I've made. This is absolutely fantastic. Keep joining, because they want to keep this going for as long as possible, obviously for their own vested interest. Now, for those who are going to call me a hater and say, Paul, you're just trying to make this collapse, you're just trying to make people withdraw their funds. In a way, yes, I am. But if your argument is that NovaTech FX is not a Ponzi scheme, then it doesn't matter if people withdraw their funds, because NovaTech are supposedly trading and making very healthy profits. They're supposedly the world's best ever traders, even though we don't know who those traders are. You've got Ricardo Roy, who does some really bogus, sat in front of a computer screen with a couple of screens, but shows no evidence of actual trading. There is no one there. There is no real trading going on. That's my proposition for you. And if that's the case, then yes, you should be worried. You should realise you're in a Ponzi scheme. You need to get your money out as fast as possible, because everyone else is getting their money out. That's not me saying that. This has been since the cease and desist order. So I have no control on this amount of money that's coming out of NovaTech. So don't blame me for this. This was because they've been exposed as the Ponzi scheme they are, as the liars that Cynthia and Eddie are. Look at the allegations here from this desist and refrain order, not allegations, statements from this desist and refrain order, falsely representing that NovaTech is a registered hedge fund in the United States, falsely representing that NovaTech is a registered investment advisor, falsely representing that NovaTech is a registered broker, failing to disclose that the offer for sale that the offer or sale of NovaTech securities was not qualified in California, failing to provide any qualifications to substantiate claims that investors' funds are managed and traded by experienced traders. And again, all they had to do was address these issues and they could have got California walking back on them, but they didn't. NovaTech and Cynthia and Eddie basically said, look, we can't argue against these. These are all true allegations. Otherwise we would fight them. We'd have our lawyers onto it. We had multi-millions of dollars. We'd get a decent lawyer and would say, no, this is not what we are. But they haven't done that. The reason they haven't done that is because these are true statements. Failing to disclose it, in March 2011, Cynthia Petian and Eddie Petian filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the Eastern District of New York. The reason that's an issue is because if you're running a company which is an investment firm, and yet previously you were a bankrupt, you'd filed for bankruptcy, then clearly that raises serious issues about your handling of finances. So then to be running and looking after other people's finances when you've previously been a bankrupt yourself, that should be upfront open. That shouldn't be hidden. Failing to disclose that in August 2019, a debt buyer sued Cynthia Petian in the Circuit Court of the 15th Judicial Circuit in and for Palm Beach County, Florida Civil Division for breach of contract and unjust enrichment, alleging that Cynthia Petian had failed and or refused to repay a loan. This is just 3 years ago. At this point, she's already running NovaTech FX, and yet she is refusing or failed to repay a loan. You're entrusting your money to someone who's a bankrupt, who's refused to repay loans. Also, failing to disclose it in July 2018, a mortgage lender sued Eddie Petian and Cynthia Petian in the Circuit Court of the 15th Judicial Circuit in and for Palm Beach County, Florida Civil Division in an action to foreclose a defaulted mortgage on residential real property held by Eddie Petian and Cynthia Petian. Again, they've not paid their mortgage lender. Failing to disclose in April 2018, a credit card issuer sued Cynthia Petian in the Civil Circuit Court of the 15th Judicial Circuit in and for Palm Beach County, Florida Civil Division for account, stated and unjust enrichment. The judgment was entered against Cynthia Petian for the amount of $11,776.55. And failing to disclose in October 2017, a credit card issuer sued Eddie Petian in the county court, blah, blah, blah. A judgment was entered against Eddie for the amount of $4,740. So these people are not to be trusted with money. These people are not to be trusted with your money, that's for sure, let alone their own money. And NovaTech now, let's go back to the graph, rapidly running out of money, lost $20 million with withdrawals just in the last 5 or 6 weeks. so there may be a week or two left. They may be able to struggle on if they can move some of their Bitcoin around. If Bitcoin makes a recovery, that would do them very well, but they've probably taken the money out of Bitcoin because we've been in such a bear market. In fact, if they were intelligent traders, they wouldn't be leaving their money in Bitcoin. So quite where that money's gone, it could have gone to fund their new lifestyle. We have no evidence yet, since they sold their house in Florida in May, that they're still in the USA. It's most likely they've actually fled the USA now as well, knowing that this Ponzi is collapsing. Here is the graph, here is the specific data that this is collapsing. I hope you find this useful. I hope this helps you get your money out before it totally collapses. Do leave your comments and questions below. Don't just call me a hater, come up with some evidence, come up with proof that they're actually trading. Don't just come up with wishy-washy words of keeping the faith and this is a blessing from God and so on. That does a great injustice to those who are of full faith. But do come up with some firm, hard evidence like this, like a wallet address from NovaTech, and show the funds in that wallet address, and show actual trading. If you are convinced there is trading, 3.5 years they've supposedly been trading, profit every single week, even through this crypto bear market. They're supposedly still making profits. Believable or unbelievable? I find that totally unbelievable, and I'm backing that up with evidence to show that this is actually a Ponzi scheme, because this is just money coming in to this address which then gets paid out. So let me just do a refresh on here. 1 hour 25 minutes, that was the last input on that, so that's not changed. No one else has put any money in the last hour and 25 minutes. So yeah, be very, very careful. Do get your money out if you can. Do also help support me as I produce more videos like this to expose scams. Do check out VCCrowd. That's the investment club I've been with for almost 8 years now. And like I said at the start, around about $170,000 of profit on that so far, and the future is looking very strong. It's fully regulated. You can join from anywhere in the world. Lots of evidence of proper investments being made there. It's not a Ponzi scheme. There's no passive income to be made. This is not quoting crazy, ridiculous daily, weekly or monthly returns. It's genuine investments in real young businesses that can make a very substantial difference to your financial well-being. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.